Interrogations have gone smoothly, and we're now narrowing in on our suspect. Detective Simo and Bala on the case. We're back for the last and final match of this series. Split is where we're headed to. That's where we think we saw that suspect last. What do we have coming in the tank for this next map?
Well, it was bad cop, good cop, I guess, from Cloud9. It was two different personas in a sense, and then Haven looked completely different. There was some confidence, there was some light. They even, did very different things a lot of times. They tried to impersonate Shot at one point, down mid with Leaf, but plenty to say, I think, about the second Haven map. Zeta was absolutely unbelievable. The pistols were both won by him in my mind, especially that very first one on the attacking side where he's able to get 4. And then the second one as well. He's just had a monster game to respond and bring his team back, because if it wasn't for some of the stuff, especially with those pistols, honestly, just by themselves, we might completely be seeing no third map at all. So we're going to split. Hopefully they can keep it up.
Yeah, this map was definitely polarizing in sense with what we saw on the first map on Ascent. This map, though, we kind of alluded to it right before the break, and even before that at some point. That Split's going to be a little bit of a different beast than Haven. We saw similar comps, obviously the Cypher instead of the Killjoy. But other than that, everything was kind of the same. Leaf, though, on the Phoenix, which played a big factor, I think, in a lot of the success. It gave him this, the space to do kind of plays on his own instead of opting in for the Reyna on Ascent. That didn't allow him to have that level of space. So the Phoenix really working out for Leaf in this instance. But he's not playing Phoenix nor Reyna in the upcoming map. So how does the Raze now come into play for Cloud9 if that's what he's going to end up selecting?
Yeah, definitely an interesting one. I want to point out that the 9 frag wins from Cloud9, it did feel like they were starting to really get their groove on when the frags were coming in. I definitely think those retakes, the 5v5 ones that were happening, were so strong and so quick in an instance where you're like, okay, this is going to be weird. There's going to be a lot of utility spent, but it doesn't matter for them. They just dove on those sites and made it work with Poise, Leaf, Mitch. Everybody was really working there. So yeah, moving on to Split. As we see, basically the MVPs of this match definitely shot up on that defense side. It was like crazy, but then we didn't really see much of him on the attack. Zeta, like I pointed out, just had a monster game.
Yeah, he kind of crept up on me there. I didn't quite, I thought it would either be like Leaf or Poise, because they were, once Cloud9 were moving and grooving, they were in full tango. But Zeta, he really just kind of crept up on the scoreboard, finding those Hunter's Fury picks and being able to, in a lot of cases, win those pistols. That was quite impactful for Cloud9. Not, the biggest factor of his 21 bomb, but Split's where we're going to next. And a lot of things start to change for these teams when it comes to Split, particularly as we're on the topic of Zeta. He could be potentially going on to the Sky. That's a completely different agent than Sova. And that's the only map that he plays, the Sky. So, what preparation do you have for a map like this? You've got a lot of flashes now on the side of Cloud9. But, Breach comes out here for Immortals on the flip side. So it's really just going to be a flasher's paradise when we get onto Split.
Yeah, it's double dive typically for Immortals. And it's not shot up on Breach or anything like that. If there is a Breach, you might have expected that in the past, but no, he does move to Raze, and we've been seeing how he plays on that. It's been quite good the entire time. Let's take a look at what they actually select. There could be surprises, and we definitely want to stay tuned with those for sure. I think you pointed out the quick one was Zeta on Sky, but it is also a Sage mirror as well, which we've seen become ever more common on Split.
Yeah, I'd love to see Sage in a couple of other maps, but on Split it makes sense. I think in some of the early days of bringing Sage back into the meta, we see players like Sick doing a lot of work with the Battle Sage, and now we'll get to see Mitch alongside his compadre Gangsta tends to pick up the Sage here. How does that come into fruition? For some Sovas, it can be a little bit of like a shock. You no longer have that utility. You no longer have that ability to gather the intel that you so need. But this is a different map altogether. Utility comes in a different way, and the flashes are very helpful in gathering that control that you may be looking for. Because with the open sights on BNA, one flash covers a lot of ground, and you could really catch a lot of members, a lot of players by surprise.
Yeah, I think the Sova on this map is we've all decided that the Hunter's Fury is too hard with the elevation changes.
Oh yeah,
shock darts as well. So it has been the other initiators that have been making their way around. When there is an initiator picked, sometimes they're just like, no, we don't. I mean, when we're playing double duelist, for example, a lot of times NA's like, no, we'll just go Sage and you know, stick with another Sentinel as well.
Choose
So,
your agent.
it is what it is. Mitch is playing Sage. I told you the mirror was coming, and no extra Sentinel, which is very popular to pair with Sage in this case, but double dive. So when I say that on the Immortal side, that means they have Breach, or they have a Flash, and they have both movement agents, both movement duelists, the Jet and the Raze, that can get them up places very quickly. We'll see dashes from from Chemicals, who's back off the Sentinel and onto the Jets, up a ramp and stuff like that. So definitely be aware of those flash and dash possibilities. Same thing is possible for the other side with Sky, but not as traditional.
Yeah, the big difference here is that while a lot of players are kind of swapping around, you know, like JC standing off the Jet and onto a controller, the big difference in the key is in the controllers and initiators selected. A lot of differences between Astra and Breach versus Omen and Sky, and those differences are going to be very clear. Breach has, you know, it's a little bit more straightforward where that utility is going to start to come through, whereas Zeta can be a lot more flexible in how he utilizes those guiding lights, how he gets the dog pack to come join him. And, you know, if they're farming those orbs, how does that ultimate come into play? So I'm just really interested. These comps are very, very, you know, interesting, very unique. And especially with the Astra now in play, seeing it on Split, seeing Immortals really prioritize it. I think that's pretty much the untold story here. Every map, we need the Astra. We think it's game changing. We need it to be a factor in our game.
Well, we're into the pistol round. Instantly, there's a wall and a slowdown over towards A, and that's where all 5 players of Immortals are. They get slowed down and kind of figured out. We already have the Jet rotating over through spawn, but they fall off. It's time to go. And in this instance, the Boombot's already here. The slows are there. Could be a paint shell coming in. They'll have to wait it out, but now they have to clear methodically back through mid, back through B main if they want to take any other space, and it looks like that's what they're going to have to do. They have to spend everything though, but he doesn't get the info. He gets traded. Just not very good at all. Shot at with a nice frag. How to proceed? Still 50 seconds.
There are those flashes, but now here comes the bloodbath mid, and it's just Chemicals and JC Stanny. Not even giving any ground for Cloud9. You saw the preparation, send the bird in, let's clean up. They even had a paranoia to follow up with it. They were prepared, but seems like Immortals were just more prepared, and they'll start off with a pistol win. That is crucial.
Yeah, right there. Super interesting the way that got shut down on A, and then they kind of forced themselves back through ropes with the crossfire and the flashes coming in. It was a good idea from Cloud9, but nothing really worked. I like the smoke from Chemicals to keep himself off, and now we're back to a pretty standard slow instant on B. We do have Rossi holding over towards A. Flash for info that there is something in B main, but we would have known that with the slow anyways. 3 stars in mid insta. 1 on ropes, 1 on heaven. Leaves it ambiguous to which side you're going to go. They do pop the 1 on male. That leaves it open to see if they could be in ropes, and Poise is already trying to figure that out with his shorty down in there. That'll clear him out though. That Boombot goes all the way down into ropes, so we'll have to back off.
Oh, but he's dropping back in. Oh, unfortunate the angle that shot up approached. Doesn't give Poise enough time to get back. Set his sights correctly. This is going to be a free A site for Immortals up through ropes. The good old-fashioned way as well. Now for Cloud9 on this pistol. Anti-eco. Going to be a little bit of a tall task. It starts with this, though, finding the Spectre and upgrade. Still, now things are a little bit more doable and possible. Now pushing Chemicals back as well, but there's a player pushing up through screens. It's JC Stanny, but he backs away. Rossi now being a factor. He's smoking him off, flashing him off. Chemicals going to updraft over back to where he was originally. That's a clean round for Immortals.
I already like what I'm saying with the Rossi Astra. The ambiguity that I pointed out in that round is going to be difficult for Cloud9 to really read. That star could come up, that nebula could come up on either side, ropes or mail. Or both in some cases, just completely wipe the information out completely. This one, though, it's going to be a 5-man push over towards A. And we saw this on Ascent, actually. Mitch is here with the wall, but with guns now, he can get there. They can get through fast, and Chemical could also go over very fast, too.
Oh, no. It's slow orb to follow up, though. Now, Inksta in a lot of trouble. Waiting for that push through. Chemicals will not be allowed to push in. Mitch backing up does get taken care of with an aggressive play from Shada. Now it's the 4v4, but Cloud9 are much closer and in a much better position to retake the site. Immortals are stuck in their own devices. Cloud9 have their kind of pick of the litter of how they want to take this back. Smoke's down. Now the smoke is well over towards Elbow, pushing them even further back. Allows the decimation to come easy. Now the spray's through. Still no pick easy for Immortals. There's one, there's two for Gangsta. Down to the 1v1. Rossi versus Poise. Rossi, though, injured. Tools available, and unfortunate as the smoke subsides, Poise takes him down. That was very expensive for Cloud9.
Yeah, it was, but at least they won the round. We'll have to deal with the complete full buy from Immortals. Like we saw in Ascent, they just kind of sent it with the lower buy. And this is exactly the same way that it went. Poise, in this case, ending up winning the 1v1. Full HP for him, and they were not able to get any space back off of the initial take, right? They lost. Who was it? It was Chemicals dashing all the way up in A Heaven, almost taking out Leaf, but Leaf is able to catch him off of the rope. After they lost that, they were not able to retake any space back over towards ramp, so. Back in the gun round. Oh, I like this. The walking down. It's going to be shot up left by himself. Thankfully, Rossi's there for the trade. And they fall right back, 4 versus 4. Basically, as nothing changes, although both Rays is gone now. That's some area clear. Going to be gone. And also mobility.
Both teams showcasing to us how important mid control is and fighting for it extensively has really proven to be a big focal point, I think, for how this map is going to unfold. The constant pressure. If Immortals win it, they get the control for ropes. If Cloud9 win it, Immortals have to go for a hit like this. Just the wall up, the old-fashioned way over to B. No flank. They're all going to be coming in through Heaven, and 2 players already on site. Chemicals in a little bit of a tougher spot. There's the swing, but they could swing together, work together, win together, but Mitch will mow them all down still. Now the 1v1. Once again, Gangsta, where is Poise? Shot is good. The 3K on the round, and we're tied up here for Cloud9.
So, I don't know if we saw it, on this A site, Mitch walled it off instantly, and there was no pressure there. So you talk about mid-control. The fact that they had mid-control as well is crazy, because they know they're not A, and they can't be through ropes. So this A site, we could leave. All 5 members of Cloud9 were on the B site as this hit was coming, as the wall was going down. Sure, they gave up the site, but they were not expecting so many people to be on that pillar, ready to fight, ready to swing, ready to trade, as Relics ended up going down, this time mid-wall. And A control from the 2 duelists, but it's gonna be a B dive, and they've pushed them off actually with the smoke. They're gonna peek this.
Yeah, and there's an army of Immortals players, and Chemicals. He does eventually get stopped by Mitch from range with the Spectre, but still the tougher buy on kind of both fronts. 2 Phantoms and a Spectre for Cloud9, but now the Cosmic Divide is going to make things a little bit strange. Play that back on the audio. Boombog does get stopped, but here comes the showstopper. It's a problem, and Shot Up walks right into it. The quick trade from JC Stanley. Players now up and over and onto the site. Rossi with 3 HP, but once again, it's Poise. Consistently in these scenarios where he's the last player standing. How many times has he won them so far?
That's 3 in a row for Poise. After that first map where those 1v1s were coming down right to the nail, it was against Gangsta in those situations as well. This time Poise has showed up. He's 7-2, and he's won all 3 rounds for Cloud9 at this point. That's what we like to see from Poise's first Challengers events. And Immortals not finding much. They're just going straight forward in some of these circumstances. Finally, a different look. Back over towards that mid presence, back over towards that default. We do have JC standing over towards A as the Astra. Gonna break down that wall, and that actually does give a lot. This time they have to stay over towards A.
Oh, this one way is a little problematic now. The Roomba coming through. Leaf does get taken down, and that's gonna open up ropes for sure. The Wolf comes out, finds someone on the return end, but Mortals have a lot more control now that they can work with. Still, poise is a factor. One wrong move.
I would like to see Leaf be not okay. Hold on, poise walks back.
Oh.
It doesn't matter. Gangsta's looking at it, and the res is there.
Uh-oh.
They're gonna fight through ropes here. 2 here.
Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh! Still the trade, down to 2, rather. Relics and Mitch, they were able to stuff the ropes push, and now Chemicals has the tall task of going back towards the spike. He does find one. Now, the ultimate does come through for Sky. Still down below. This is such an awkward encounter, but this is where Astra shines. They'll stun them all and find what is necessary for Immortals, tying us back up. But how do you even get into a scenario like that where you're fighting for the spike at the bottom of ropes?
Hey man, if you're JC, you're happy about it. It's just a full blender there. For... Did he pop 2 stars? It looked like he popped the conch and also the gravity well. I couldn't quite tell because it just happened so fast. Thankfully, on the other side, they actually had Cloud9 up one up on top of it, so he didn't even get affected. But if he's not there to be fighting at the same time, we'll end up losing the trades. Well done, actually, honestly, for both sides on recovery in that round. I was gonna say Leaf playing in ropes, not able to really get the nades off of contact from whatever's happening over in Mail through that smoke. Causes him to be the first point of contact, and that flash from Immortals was really, really good. Kind of cheating over towards A in this case, I wonder. Yeah, low econ, so just kind of stacking and hoping. Just funny because of how well the rounds have gone. Every time coming down to a 1v1 really ends up costing you. You have to be in these situations where you lose just one, and all of a sudden you're saving again. Nice nade spot from Leaf, though. And all 5 are here, so this could be dangerous.
First look, there's the nades, but will likely get smoked off. Chemicals getting a lot of ground. Mitch just trying to get some tags, do some damage, does get eventually traded. So far, the advantage here for Cloud9. Leaf with 3, and he's ready to go with the blast back. He's about to swing right through the smoke. That's 4 on the round. Almost make it 5. But Skylar, Relics, he steals it away. Takes it back, steals away the ace, but what a disaster there. MVP Leaf.
What a read on that, too. To go to the right side on the eco doesn't happen that often, but also have to wonder there was not that much information collecting for Immortals on the other sides of the maps over towards mid. They just kind of put their stars on it, poked a little bit, and then went back over. Maybe because the wall was not there, they kind of had the idea, oh, maybe we can just walk up here. But it will be another 5-man approach. Poise is here, though. An up spot, and he sees 3, but there's the dash forward. The up draft over. He escapes from Chemicals.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Oh, but the trade. This might be a thrifty round to answer back as I eat my words, as they all fall apart. Still, though, Rossi finds another op here for Mitch. Now Chemicals, oh, yep. There's the shorty. There's an op. We'll take him down. That was close. A little close. Still 2 members alive for Cloud9.
Too close for comfort, but hey, it doesn't matter. That was definitely a chaotic round where Poise is like info jumping, and then all of a sudden there's 5 on top of him. Chemicals is dashing after him and completely ignoring him while the rest of his team end up pushing through. So he gets traded, but well done from them to recover up in heaven. 9 up, 5-3. Much closer. Half than we've seen all day so far in this series. It's going to be a Mitch wall over towards B this time to collect that orb. No, ooh, I like this idea. This is cool. Double peek here from Relics and Mitch at the same time on the same exact angle. If they walk in there without any utility, without a flash, things will get dicey.
A little bit more of a default round here for Immortals.
Really does weaken their A side. Sorry, go ahead.
JC Stanny's playing so far back. Rest of the team started over towards B. Got that control for mid. Why is Cloud9 playing so distant than with the control that we've normally seen them? An interesting adaptation. Backing up towards the A site, smoke off towards mailroom. Now here comes a star. Nope, psych. Wrong number. The Cosmic Divide. That's going to make it a little bit of a challenging site to hold on to. But there's 3 members of Cloud9 here. Shot Up finds 1. Mitch finds the trade. Chemicals with another. But still, Mitch here with the op. It's getting a little bit too uncomfortable. Shorty in hand! Oh, goodness! One more! Shot's not good, but Leaf's there to revenge the frags. And now the resurrection comes to Poise. Again, it's Poise. Ready with the angle. Has to move away to a different position with the tailwind. But oh no. That was close. Mortal still managed to pull it through.
Yeah, see, that's the information gathering that I want to see from Immortals on that anti-eco that they had. This time they realized mail is kind of open. There's not really anything being thrown down. No flashes coming through. They don't peek into B main into that setup that we were talking about because the wall is so early. They don't have to worry about that. Then the split comes in. The last second give up mail. As they actually had to rotate one off over towards A as well, given the setup wasn't quite finding anything. Back to basics, the 3 stars in mid. The wall down on A, so we're back in towards basically the first half of the rounds that we saw so far.
I mean, you talk about no flashes for mid, but they're using the dog, using the bird from mail. That has to be,
yeah.
That has to be telegraphed in some way. But how? I don't know how they found that one round where they weren't in mailroom. And it's like, yeah, okay, we'll walk up, no problem. There it is again.
You can always tell when there's anything lingering here. And they get up into mail before the smoke phase. There's so many members. 4 here, ready to collapse. They don't know that Leaf is in this corner. They spot Rossi's going to take him out. Yes, another flash as well. Zeta's swinging on it. No. And that's it. The spike is down to Chemicals. Yes, you might have gotten the B site, but now you have to recover all the way up in heaven. This is going to be coming quick. Never mind.
Oh, there's a blast pack there too. A little bit of a delayed explosion. It's still falling of Chemicals. Gangsta last man standing. What a tough round there. Mortals, they wanted to test their mettle against the heaven push. They wanted to push in, but when you see those birds coming through, I'd re-strategize. I wouldn't fight for it because you know they're there. You know they're positioned for that mid control.
Yeah, harkens back to that pistol round that we saw in this match. Or they want to peek off the flash this time, though. They're much, much better prepared, and also Immortals is not ready for it. Even the last round, there was nothing in mail. I think maybe expected potentially the same sort of thing. Sometimes when the shift happens, it happens permanently, but no. It's back over towards mid this time, so they're switching it up and making it really, really hard for Immortals to read. Where is he going to be? Where's the wall going to go down? And also, where's that op going to be at the same time?
It is just JC standing with the Phantom, though. They're using the Caterpillar approach. Smokes right through. Let's walk on in. It's a safe tunnel. But paint shells. Gonna give them some information. Here comes the dog. Yeah, everywhere you turn, there's something there waiting for you. Either in your face or in the dark. And it looks like on this B side, it's in the dark. Push in here for Chemicals. Does get swatted out of the sky by Zeta. But still, they're going to push in here with their pistols. JC Stanley, the only one with the weapon, is down for the count. Zeta in a lot of trouble. Upgrade here for Rossi. It's now Cloud9. Tall task here ahead. Leaf with 2. Absolute juice grinder. Gangsta does find the trade. All on his lonesome with the sheriff in hand. And Poise, he's holding up on the rafters. A round in the hands. Cloud9.
That information collecting is coming at the perfect times every time from Zeta. Last 2 rounds, that Trailblazer got so much information that they're ready and waiting. Although this time there was kind of a surprise. I think it was what, on Mitch? As he was falling off of... Who was it? No, it was Zeta. Falling off of heaven. The guy's chasing over top of him. He ends up getting the kill anyways, up on the top. through the sky. Okay, back to this. 5-man push on A on the last round of the half. And Poise set up perfectly in the back of sight. Can a flash catch him? Mitch will also find one anyways on the dash. That's Chemicals way deep.
Unfortunate angle there. Gangsta has to pick up the pieces. Poise finds 2. Holding underneath the crown. We see Relics trying to find a little bit more success. Gangsta spots one with the shoulder. Shots good onto Zeta, but not enough to send him down for the count. It's now JC standing. Last man standing gets absolutely decimated with the showstopper, and Leaf sends him some parting words, some parting bullets. We are winning this. That's the. I'm a translator, a bullet translator.
8-4, just like we saw on Haven, switching the script again. Last time it was Immortals. Wondering if there will be potentially slightly stronger play from the defense here of Immortals.
It's really this Astra, again, that I think is going to be an interesting factor. Out of all of the matches that we've seen so far, Immortals had their most success on the defensive end. It's how they use the Astra utility. Cloud9 are on a tear right now. There's no denying that. And they can continue that, especially with how they play this the rest of this out. But now that the Astra is on the defense, those gravity wells will have to pay attention. Is that going to be a factor? Or is it going to be useless? Is it not even going to play a factor at all? And it starts here, Bala, with this pistol.
Similar way to it started on the other side, except this time there's only one player here instead of all 5, and this time they regroup after the wall goes down. A lot of control in mid and ropes. There will be 3 players here potentially able to get here fast as the take happens. There's the drone. Clear up the top side. Nade at the same time. Oh, that's a lot of damage. Thankfully, there's an updraft available. That could have been scary if that gravity well came in just a second earlier. They might have been all gone.
Oh, that's a little bit too close for comfort. Quick trade, shot up with 2, holding them back. He's got the Roomba, and he's going to find a couple of players. There goes the explosion onto Zeta. Mitch now 15 HP. It's feeling like a nightmare right now. Wake up in a cold sweat, and you see Rossi, JC, Stanny, and Gangsta waiting for you in heaven. As the spike, though, and can at least get the extra credits if he manages to make his way over to B. 30 seconds left, Bala.
Tries to fake the footsteps down the road, but they're not even in position to hear him. I think he is worried about them re-walking down a ramp to get that information together. Instead, Gangsta's going to spot him. 14 seconds. Now they all peek at the same time. He has nothing to stop them from doing this. Yeah. So Immortals claps back with the pistol round of their own. Once again, identical to prior map. The script's flipped.
Still down 3 rounds. This is going to be likely a nice bonus round for them, but Shot Up put his team on his back. If Shot Up dies there, it's potentially a different story. Heaven Control follows up after that, but he just stays behind that box and survives, and even gets a Roomba kill. I only see those in escalation, right? Because that's where you're forced to get Roomba kills. You know, you have no choice. To do it in something like this.
2 kills already, all the way in mail. They're just flashing back. There's a dash away from Chemicals. Gets in mail, keeps that presence at least, and Shot Up is going to chase them down. They're running away, but it's a pinch on all sides. Anti-Eco not doing so hot as Shot Up continues to clean up. And only 1 taken down. A good anti-eco for Immortals that grants him the bonus.
Yeah. Shot Up almost falls. This is the round that, you know, this round and the next few rounds, we have to pay attention to very closely. What does the setup look like for Cloud9? Where does Immortals place a lot of their utility? In that first half, we saw a lot of mid control from both teams. But what if once we swap halves, that's not even a factor? What if Cloud9 don't really want to play for it towards their attacking front? So early positioning over towards at least the B site to start. They're smoked off, so they have to use a guiding light to get the entry in. gathered the intel. Somebody pushed up fast. Now, once again, they're smoked off from mid. Immortals are here as well, just in a little bit more of a passive position.
Oh. So he gets taken down instantly. Chemicals is in an awkward position too. The weaponry that they have, this should end up going to Cloud9. It almost looks like a force.
Oh,
Of course. It's slow. Rossi with the flash as well. He's getting the Vandal upgrade. He's going to go for more, but they're here right on time. Leaf will trade him. And they've got the B site now, 3 versus 4. And nobody's ready for this. The nade forces them back, and I think they all have to come through spawn at this point.
Should be quite easy to clean up, but easier said than done. There's the tailwind in. Whoa! Whoa, 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 whoa. That reaction was very nice from Poise. That tailwind forward into the smoke from Chemicals, and the reaction from Poise to be like, no, no, no. You don't get away that easy. Because it could have been very easy for a member of Cloud9 to be like, I got this, don't worry. But he's just, no, I want it, and I want more.
Yep. Very aware of the space-taking capabilities. So there you go. Cloud9 responds before Immortal starts to catch up. We do have a pause. This is Immortals calling it for tactical timeout. So try to figure out exactly what their game plan is going to be for the rest of the game.
Deeper stars. Much deeper.
Mm-hmm.
Much, much, much deeper. We're seeing the default for B main. A little bit of a default one for A lobby as well. But these are much deeper for mid.
Could deter them at all from going into mid. They see the stars, don't want to walk into them. But is there a way for them to punish, potentially? With shot up peeking from ropes. But one smoke down will actually deter or deny him that angle. He could still spray though, so got to be careful. And they can see those from the very start throughout all this timeout, by the way.
Yeah.
They can see that. As soon as, especially because it was already down at the bottom of the round, so. What is it, with 3 seconds to go on the freeze time?
Yeah. Uh-oh. Scary. Oh, that was such an important shot to land. Zeta walks away unscathed. And that's a tailwind gone as well. Chemicals does have another shot at redemption. Takes out Leaf. That's another important pick as well because the showstopper was available. That could have created a lot of space to secure round number 10 for them. That's not what's going to happen. Oh, sorry, that's the... yeah. Okay. He's looking at shot up. He's got the showstopper as well.
Mm-hmm.
Double showstopper. Away.
I've got your trail.
Delay here is unbelievable. There will be seekers from Zeta who's gonna maybe peek with them, but he gets put down. Now the delay is still here. There's gonna be a gravity well. That no, they get past it. Gangsta's here. No more slows. He's in the back of sight. Will he find at least Mitch?
Oh.
No, it's Relics instead. Poises across. They get the trade. Now he has to make sure he gains more space. Yes, he's gonna go for it. Oh, get away. Okay. Oh, Mitch. Utility spam central.
Where am I? It's like that kid. Have you ever had a dream that you
I have had a dream.
that you I could survive 3 flashes? That was unfortunate. But hey, Mortals trail by 2. I really wonder if the stars just placing them that deep in mid is going to be enough to deter Cloud9. They've got to try their hand at it eventually because we've seen a little bit of kind of mid-round gandering over towards mid. You know, they'll start on the extremities and then slowly bring it together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Those stars, they can be a little bit troublesome.
They popped one in mid. The other one was the sewer side. I think that was so shot up. Could try to get some peek in, but didn't matter because they were peeking over towards B at the same time. So Chemicals with the op shut them down. That was 2 kills for him, even after missing that first shot with the flash coming in at the same time. There's gonna be another peek here. This time with to be up. Astra smoke, and they've got control. That comes down so much faster than Omen smokes or Brim smokes. That things like this deep can happen. Leaf is all the way up though with the showstopper. Where's JC Stan? He finds him. He's gone.
Oh no.
And they shut down the B main control as well. Shot up, nothing gained with the flash from Leaf. It's gonna be, yeah, Rossi tries, but not tries hard enough. Another one. All chemicals was just an op. He's gonna try to save that instantly. Oh no. Walking down towards ropes. Yeah, no, especially with that smoke on Heaven. Finds one in mid, but he's gone.
You will not kill my allies.
Resurrection as well makes things incredibly challenging. Leaf really putting on his best bunny impersonation. They were getting active with the Bucky. He was zigzag zooming through B main onto the site. But really, I think it does slightly boil down to shot up not really materializing multi-kill. I think it was possible. He was in a position to do so, waiting for that that smoke to subside, but I think he gets flashed by a guiding light, and then they all start to rush in, and he just can't get anything done. After that, it was just a Leaf show. Getting back sight, getting that control. Now 3 more. 3 remain for Cloud9 to move on, and they'll have to face off against 100 Thieves, who may already be watching this game, taking some notes, trying to understand how Cloud9 think, especially on split, but Mortals are currently in the process of doing that live.
I'm wondering how Leaf was able to get all the way up in Heaven with that showstopper. I think that was a good read from Cloud9, maybe guessing with the fact that they played the Astra Smoke. Maybe they heard Shot Up walk up a little bit. And they're like, okay, this is going to be open on Heaven because they're spending so much resources controlling this B main. Straight out of B once again, though, and they're really favoring this side. They've got it again.
That was quick. Up on the new box and up and over. Still, the spike will end up being delayed, at least because of the aftershock, but they're actually getting a little bit of control here towards the back alleyway, not really giving a lot of the space over to Immortals to try to fight for their control back. And now you'll see Shot Up manages to punish some of that because they're separated from the rest of their team. Poise finds 2 to answer back. Oh, goodness! Right into the meat grinder. 4 for Poise. The resurrection comes through. Immortals need to win this round to get back on track. Mitch and Relics just down to Mitch in his own slow orb. Shots onto one Gangsta with the 3K on the round. All Faithful with 5 HP brings Immortals back into the fold.
Oh, that was so close. You called it out. That was a must-win almost for Immortals, and Gangsta comes in at the final hour on the trade. Poise almost completely just shut this entire possibility from Immortals down completely. If you got that one last, and then the res. Immortals still favoring this B side over and over since that, or sorry, Cloud9 favoring it since that one round that Chemicals kind of got the 2 kills off of it. Chemicals has been switching up and going over towards A, going over towards mid. Since then, they've really found the gaps. Not quite enough there. Another peek for Chemicals. If they peek this too early, yep, he's got it. And he's back into ropes, actually. Usually people are dashing over towards Mel, and he saves the dash too.
He wants to re-peek. Once the smoke is gone, he's like, I got this. That's exactly what he does. Looking back towards mid. He gets another, he's got a tailwind still. Like, he has the ability to do this for free. The dog, though, does spot him out, so he's got to respect it, back away.
Again, an approach. Relics is lurking here, though. He's got the ult. As soon as he shows himself, he can actually get out of this situation, and the hit can come in. Yep, there it is. Back sights. And they've rotated off. Nobody up in Heaven to respond right now for Immortals. There's a slow. There's going to be a wall on spawn eventually from Mitch. They don't even spend it to get out. But it is a 4 versus 5 as it lost Leaf earlier on that first stop shot.
They're going to have to use something here for Immortals. Run it back. Or sorry, not the Rolling Thunder, not the run it back. Cosmic Divide, that's already gone because Relics does take one down. Roomba up above. Here comes the Rolling Thunder. But Immortals, they hold on just down to Relics. He's in a tough spot as he's been stunned to infinity and beyond. And he'll be looking at the stars right to the sky as Immortals will take things back. 9-10. This is a close map. This is a very, very close map. I don't know what happened in that tactical pause, but it feels tactical to me as they are coming back in full swing.
Within one now, Immortals. They brought it all the way back. And you gotta remember that gangsta 1v1 just a couple rounds ago. When you think about momentum turners, we're coming down towards the end of this game, towards the end of the series. You already mentioned their opponent in the next game, or in the next playoff match. Here's the wall from Gangsta. It's over towards the A side, much like what Mitch is doing. Alex is already going to deny it. It's just pistols from Cloud9. This could be the chance. Don't forget, last night was a low buy. They ended up really, really punishing. They're already through with the dog. Oh no, shot up gets dinked as well. Thankfully, Chemicals is there. JC Stanny was there to clean up as well. Ross is in a great spot. They're going to fight back, just like Cloud9 did. They're going to fight back hard.
Oh, it's so unfortunate. JC Stanny sprays him through. Zeta pushes forward. Now Chemicals is a little bit late to the party. Has the op in hand. A 1v2. Leaf on the off angle right outside. Quick shot. Give it to him. Still now the Phantom in hand. Where does he go? Drops down. Has the option to. Zeta right there in the corner. And Immortals clean things up. Chemicals, despite being so late, despite a travesty of a push, going so to the wayside for Immortals, they clutch on the back. Strong back, might I add, of Chemicals.
Did all to do to recover after shot up ends up falling. Chemicals gets one, and they're swinging to help their team out. Tie game, remaining 4 rounds of regulation. You've got to be thinking of where this started in this series. A devastating map 1 loss from Cloud9. It looked like they were going to go down without a fight on Haven as well, but they struggled their way back, and now they're here. But it's Immortals claiming back. Okay, there's an updraft. I thought they were going to go straight over that. They're slows now. They do, eventually. Slow and nade combo doesn't find too much. Not on the site yet. They're going to get slowed and completely stuck now.
Oh, what an angle from Poison. Now shot up in a lot of trouble. He gets stunned and dealt with. But JC Stanny, unfortunately, I don't really know what happened there. He was caught in rotation, changing a weapon, something, but he gets punished, and now Chemicals likely going to save this op. Cloud9 up to 11 now, but that was a weird interaction.
Yeah, I can't believe, well, that was the first time they hit A in so long that, you know, we don't necessarily know how the setups are going on over here. There was the wall insta from Gangsta. I thought they were going to get stuck, but they just went straight through it. I thought the nades were going to do a lot of damage as well with the slow combo, but eventually that Trailblazer came in, hit the player down in hell, and oof, that looks so clean from Cloud9. They just chose the site, and we're like, okay, hey, our 5-man hits were working. I mean, we remember the round on B. That one was kind of a split with Leaf going up in the top, but Immortals gonna go down 1 again. But for everyone, it felt like in the last couple of rounds, it's been 2 for Immortals.
That battle of attrition eventually goes to somebody. And it's looking like Cloud9 have the ability to do so here. Looking at the economy for Immortals, it's going to be a little bit of a tougher spot. Still, the op does get carried over, but it's Bucky's galore for Immortals. Looking to place close quarter contact, and Cloud9 in a little bit more of a comfortable position, have the ability to push this one over the edge.
Alright, 4 Buckies minus the op.
Oh no, Gangsta gets flashed. Bucky not going to be used quite well, and unfortunately that operator is not a Bucky either. Can't use it at close quarters. Boys finds 2. Now it's 3 Buckies. Relic's in an interesting position. Can play towards the heaven side. Swing out the box. Will likely find one, but that's the op picked up. Shot's good onto 1. And now he'll just get to safety. He got what he needs. He'll get out for free. Resurrection to keep things even that much more difficult for Immortals, and they'll keep the op. Oh. Oh.
Yeah, so JC Stanny swings his way in, grabs the op, and gets out. And he has light armor as well, but this is going to be a rough monetary situation for sure for Immortals. when they have to face map point, at least they will have this op. Chemicals has been good for 2 entries. When they go for, oh no, oh no. They know everything. They're trapping them down. 2 kills, can you get another one? No. And that's their only hope in this round. They will have a lot still for some of their top players there. Chemicals has knives, Shot Ups has showstopper, so it's not all she wrote. But if they had just that op, things could have been a little bit easier.
Man, that is difficult. Immortals, you could see Chemical's gonna rely on the Blade Storm. He's got a Bucky, but other than that, it's Cloud9 in the driver's seat. Control towards mid, Bird towards B main. No one's there, nobody's home. Cloud9 really have their pick of where they want to end up going to, because they've had success on B, they've had success on A, they've had success on the split.
Timing here. I was gonna say timing. If he could peek just in that instant, he might have been able to find one and get away. Yes, he does. Perfect. Right before the 5-man is ready to fully execute on this A site, Chemicals makes it a man advantage, and all still alive for Immortals. There's gonna be the fight. She's stuck behind planches. Oh, he gets out in the sight. Doesn't matter. Poise is there. Cosmic Divide a little too late once again.
Yep. It's unfortunate though. They've already made their way onto site, but at least Relics won't be able to be the lurking pest in towards heaven. He doesn't have a sight line into it. He doesn't hear quite a thing either. But now as they're starting to funnel through, the communication is clear because Relics can backstab them all. He finds 2 so far, and it's all down to JC Stanley. The drop down around the tower, around they go. Shots not good enough. And Cloud9 move on to face 100 Thieves.
What a series. What a roller coaster of who is on top in this game. Unbelievable that Cloud9 is able to take it out there. The first half was great. The second half, they got the rounds that they needed, and they made it eventually. Cloud9 moves on after their first appearance. They get revenge after Immortals knocked them out of their very, very first open qualifier. One of the reasons why they weren't in any of the challengers at all. The new Cloud9 with some identity with the players on the roles that we kind of expect them more so. Looks good.
I just need to polish up Ascent a little bit. You know, it just needs a little bit of work. But Immortals, they felt good to start, and then things slowly started to tip over. It was a slow burning candle until we got eventually to split, and Cloud9 felt like they were in control. Let's have a look at some of the highlights over the course of that past map. See, where did it all go wrong for Immortals?
Yeah, I mean, the first half 8-4. This is the entire series. This one was rough for sure. I mean, we can't understate that by any means. This one was rough from Cloud9. It was 11-1 half. Didn't really find anything else. Of course, not really much room to recover with after an 11-1. But the next couple were strong from them. There was, you know, we said the one thing on that map was Poise, kind of showing up a little bit. Defensive side, the next time for Immortals was strong as well. 8-4 they had. This knife too. I mean, there was so much in this Haven game. It was like, okay, I think Cloud9 might be gone, but no. They clawed their way back on that second half, and they responded with a good half of their own, 9-1 to close out the game.
Yeah, it was definitely a closer map, and I have a feeling that Immortals may be kicking themselves. You know, we could have closed that one out. We could have brought it back and, you know, cleaned this one up in a 2-0 fashion, because once we got to split, saw the heavy weight of the tactical pause, just trying to find answers, but Poise, what an excellent addition for Cloud9. And I had highlighted it in the pregame. Works so well in tandem with Leaf. We saw in Haven that exact recipe come to actual fruition because they couldn't quite make it work on Ascent. And then when we got to split, oh boy, they just couldn't get that control once we got to that second half for Immortals.
I do want to go back to Poise for a second there on that one. Don't forget the way that they started that game off. After losing the pistol, it was 3 clutch rounds in a row for Poise. Not, you know, the most spectacular 1v4s or anything like that, but slow 1v1s, stuff like that adds up. And for what happened on Ascent, definitely happy for Poise to be able to clap back and keep in the game. 13-10, so close. Immortals started to claw back. There's a couple clutches on there, and 2 ganks that started to show up, but just not quite enough.
Yeah, you know, I think for Immortals, did it feel like they lost steam? I don't know. I don't know what was kind of the big factor for kind of things starting to slow down a little bit. I think for me, the agent composition moving into split seems like something that they are comfortable with, but kind of switching things around, begs the question for me: if JC Stanny's the main jet, why not put him there? Can Chemicals play a Sentinel? Sentinels don't seem to be, at least with both these teams, not super important. As most people don't consider Sage a Sentinel, even though she is. But not having like a Killjoy or Cypher, what factors that play? I'm not going to try to poke holes through Immortals. I'm just questioning. Did it feel like they lost steam once we got to that last one?
I mean, realistically, it feels like they've started to lose steam since Masters, essentially, with their disappointing run there. It kind of starts to continue here. Obviously, they've got the new combination here, IGL, between JC Stanny and Rossi, that they're trying to work through as he comes into the team and really starts to find his form in this as well. It's not over for them. They still got the lower bracket. Absolutely. Potentially to make some noise in, and we'll get to figure out their matchup after this as well. So yeah, there's definitely some stuff there to be worked on from Immortals, but this is how it is. Yeah.
I have a little bit of a head-to-head for you, a little bit of a player comparison, just to see some of the things that we talked about in the pregame, highlighting Shot Up, highlighting Poise as important factors. Well, here you have it. Shot Up did have a great game, even in some cases better average combat score. I think that's definitely heavily weighted from that first map as Poise really started to bring it back. But wow, what a match between these two. Poise really coming up big on split and proving to us why he deserves a spot, especially on a team like Cloud9.
And now Cloud9 is one series away from going one more series. Doesn't matter when it happens. Doesn't matter if it happens in the lower bracket or up in the upper bracket. When they move on, and yeah, they're playing up against 100 Thieves. When they move on, that's it. They could make their way to Challengers Finals. We talked about how important it is this weekend to do that, given that Sentinels, that everybody else who we talked about upsets for so long in the open qualifier, they might be back, and it might be way harder to make it over there. Yeah. One more game away for Cloud9 to make it to Challengers Final.
Yeah, you've got Gen.G, Hungry, FaZe, Sentinels, TSM. Of course, I gotta say that. LG, Energy. You've got a lot of teams that you wanna solidify that spot ASAP. So we'll have to see what ends up coming to fruition for the teams as they move along in their bracket. We're going to be moving on to our next series, XSET versus BBG. BBG having a very shocking performance in the open qualifier, taking down Sentinels. Will they be able to continue to impress, or have XSET come from Masters and have come back swinging? We'll find out after this.
Verizon believes everyone deserves the best. That's why we start with 5G from America's most reliable network.
Verizon 5G is next level.
Then give families plans to mix and match, so you only pay for what you need starting at $35.
It's so much more than just a great network.
And offer the best in entertainment on select unlimited plans, like Disney+, Hulu, and ESPN+, as well as Discovery+, with a Galaxy S21 Plus 5G when you buy one. There's no reason to settle for less than the best. Only from Verizon.
I feel like I need to defend my scene's honor here, because this is just turning into a bit of a dog battle.
Like in groups always look.
I'm cutting you off here. I'm cutting you off. Cutting you off. He said G2's winning it. He said G2's winning it.
We need to wait till the next EU tournament, which could be in about 10 years now.
Take it with like a grain of salt.
No,